One of my many toxic traits is procrastination when it comes to shaving. But given the fact that Vicky left my shaving cream out on the counter, I figured I didn't have any choice. When I came downstairs, I found these two looking guilty as sin. I wonder why. They're constantly getting in the waste paper basket and trashing the house with tissues. Anyway, after I got done cleaning up blood and tissue paper in the house, I went out to check on Miss Harley, who's out there working on shipping orders out for Christmas. While she's busy working on orders, me and Kenny Powers are getting ready to turn the nitrous on this Malibu today. But before we go out and try and spray this thing, I've got a punch list of things I want to check first. The first thing I wanted to check was for nitrous leaks, and it didn't take us long to find the first one. After Kenny tightened up the main line out on the firewall, everything including the purge valve seems to check out just fine. So the next thing we need to do is turn the bottle heater on and start warming the bottle up. And we need to put a new set of plugs in. We had a set of -7 NGK plugs in it to test it on the dyno. But since this car's got winter blend ethanol in the tank right now, and we're going to turn the nitrous on, I wanted to switch to a set of -10 plugs and go over the tune-up real close to make sure everything is perfect, including the fuel pressure on the nitrous kit. Kenny and I were just about done with our checklist when I heard Uncle Bucko rolling in his pickup truck, late as usual.
Kill!
Jeremy's been late to work every day for weeks. I just can't wait to hear what his excuse is this time.
Well, what do you have to say for yourself today? You were late again today. What was your excuse this time?
I had to fix the old lady's car.
You had to fix the old lady's car.
Colleen's car is constantly having problems, and Jeremy hates working on it.
And now for our next episode of this old piece of shit. I hate this car. There's a bushing on the back end of it.
You're mumbling.
I said there's a bushing on the back end of it. It's a pain in the ass. Here's the piece of crap bushing. It took Chumpy 2 months, well no, 30 days for him to locate and get for me. I didn't get done with it till 5.
In the morning?
Yeah, an aluminum collar on it, and if you break that off, you ruin the differential. It's made out of that popcorn cast aluminum shit, so it breaks real easy.
You're mumbling.
Now that he's finally showed up to work, I try to get him to start working on the 55, but all he wants to do is stand there and look at it.
How long are you going to stand there and look at it?
As long as it takes.
You're mumbling.
It seems pretty clear I'm not going to get a whole lot of work out of Jeremy today. So I figure the best way to get my money's worth out of him is to send him down to the post office with Kenny. Harley currently has about 3 or 4 loads of packages that need to be taken to the post office. And since our local post office right in Kirkersville is so small, we try to spread our package deliveries out between Kirkersville, Pataskala, and Hebron. And Harley's already taken 1 load to the post office this morning. This is going to be number 2. Before Jeremy and Kenny left, I told Jeremy, record everything. And I do mean everything. So, what you're about to witness is literally everything in its entirety. Both good and bad.
Yep, go on in there. Screw up the mail lady's day. Yeah.
Evidently, when I told Jeremy to record everything, he took that as though I was telling him not to do any work, but strictly just record. So poor Kennedy ended up carrying all the totes in except for one. Jeremy picked up the one that literally had 6 envelopes in it. Other than that, Kenny did all the work, with the exception of this tote, and you can see how he handles it. Jeremy then takes up a strategic position to film Kenny doing all the work, and caught Kenny indisposed.
Pull your pants up.
It's a well-known fact around our shop that Kenny's butt crack goes clear to his neck, and I go out of my way to not catch that on camera.
I mean, there's got to be a better way.
Jeremy, however, is ruthless. Out of all the content that Jeremy records with his phone camera, I would say 60% of it gets left on the cutting room floor. Because, well, he's ruthless. Jeremy literally has no filter. So I have to do my best to keep things under control. So normally I wouldn't have shown that clip, but it was so damn funny I couldn't resist.
Well,
They're delivered.
thank you for helping Kenny.
He needs a lot of help.
Since today's Friday, Vicky has the day off work. And generally on her days off, she tries to bring lunch home for everybody that works at the shop.
Hot dog.
Lunchtime.
So now what? Shop lunch Friday.
Shop lunch Friday.
What did you get there?
Chicken sandwiches, chicken tenders.
Chicken snadwiches?
Yep. Chick-fil-A.
That's God's chicken.
Peppermint chip milkshake. Amazing.
So the guys managed to get the packages to the post office.
I'm appreciative.
The post office isn't.
Now that we've got lunch out of the way, I want to get ready to take the Malibu out and make a pull on nitrous so I can pull a plug and check the tune-up. The problem is this time of year the State Highway Department starts putting salt brine down in case we get any snow or black ice. The county roads, however, have not been treated. So we're going to have to stick to a county road today to make our first pull on this thing, and I put a tune-up in it that should go down the road despite how cold it is.
All right, gentlemen, it's time. Let's back this thing out, let it warm up, and then we'll take it up the road. We'll turn north. I'll spray it. We'll go through the gears. I'll let it coast, and then we'll pull off and pull a plug out of it up there in Outville. Sound good? Jeremy, you ride with me. Kenny, you follow behind and video from the truck.
So with the bottle heater warming the bottle up in the trunk, I go ahead and back the Malibu outside, roll the windows up, and turn the heater on. Then I closely monitor the oil pressure and water temperature to make sure we get enough heat in the engine and the transmission so that we don't hurt anything making a nitrous pull. After letting the car warm up for about 10 minutes, it's time to go. I left the bottle heater on until the bottle come up to about 1050 psi. Then I purged it down and got ready to make my first pull. I eased into the throttle and let the nitrous come on and held it just long enough to get a plug reading and break the steering wheel again.
Yeah, safety first.
We basically coasted up to Outville and pulled into a parking lot so we could go ahead and pull a spark plug out to check the tune-up. Since I haven't actually tested the E85 in the fuel tank, there is concern about detonation. But according to the plug, the tune-up is pretty close, albeit maybe a little bit too much timing for the short pull that I made. Now for today, we're only going to turn on the first stage of this Nitrous Express billet crossbar plate, and the first stage is only jetted for 125 horsepower. So with the rear tires set at about 13 psi, we try this thing for the first time in low gear. But the instant that the nitrous comes on, the car spins and hits the rev limiter. So for the next pull, I go ahead and let the car get up into second gear before I hit it.
Yep. I think you got some traction control problems.
Dude, that was in second gear.
Yeah, I think you need a better transmission like now. You're just gonna blow it all over the road.
I decide to turn around and try to make one more pull on the Malibu, only this time we're going to start in high gear. Friday night after I made those pulls in the Malibu, I brought it back to the shop, and Vicky and Harley were back there working hard trying to get all these orders taken care of and get them to the post office tomorrow so that hopefully everybody gets their packages before Christmas. I was busy in the other side of the shop going over everything on the Malibu, checking for leaks, pulling spark plugs, and just doing an overall inspection of the car after we made those nitrous pulls today. Now Kenny, Harley, and Jeremy have all gone home, but Jeremy's not done working. He wanted to go ahead and pull his little S10 pickup truck in the shop and begin the process of getting it cleaned up and fixed up to use as a daily driver. And while the little truck looks pretty beat up, it's actually rust-free, and Jeremy considers it a cream puff.
Clean her up on my nose. You're safe. little bit of before. Nastiness on the top. Just that stupid tree sap from Williams all over the place. Oh yeah. Got all the tree sap washed off of her. I don't know. I think she's worth saving.
By late Friday night, Jeremy had this thing cleaned up spotless, at least by his standards. And he told me, you need to come down here and see how nice this truck really is.
What are you going to do with this thing?
I'm gonna drive it.
Drive it?
Yeah.
Drive it where?
Everywhere. All the errands you run me.
Errands I run you?
4-cylinder, 5-speed.
It's a 5-speed?
Yeah.
Garbage.
No. Beautiful.
Listen, you should sell me this truck.
Negative.
Why?
That's my cream puff.
Cream puff?
Cream puff.
Cream puff? It's been creamed on every freaking panel.
It needs a fender and it needs some plastic bumper crap.
The freaking front of the bed's all stoved in.
I'll pull that right back out. You'll never know it was done.
What's wrong with the back of it? Hit?
Yeah, it's tailgate and bumper.
Oh my God.
Tailgate comes off, the bumper unbolts.
This is a cream puff.
Yeah.
That's a cream puff, all right.
158. It's not even broken yet.
Well, I haven't really been paying much attention to the weather forecast, but clearly there was a reason they've been putting salt brine down on the roads. It's starting to snow today, and the temperature outside is hovering right at the freezing mark. So it's a good thing I made those nitrous pulls yesterday, because it looks to me like the only thing we're going to get done today is shipping. But the post office closes early today, being it's Saturday, so Vicky's in a mad dash to get as many packages processed and hauled down to the post office as she can possibly get done before they close, which puts us dropping packages off right at closing.
Hurry.
So we jump in the 64 and head down to Kirkersville to the post office, where they're just delighted to see us pull in. Because judging by the parking lot, we're not the only ones in a mad dash to make it there before they close. So I help Vicky haul this tote inside, and I'm a little bit concerned of what we're going to hear from the postmaster once we get it in there. Because according to Harley, this lady isn't the most pleasant when you bring this much stuff in right before closing. So I take up a strategic position outside, hopefully out of the line of fire. Thankfully, nobody went postal, and Vicky got the opportunity to visit with Miss Judy for a few minutes and talk about her hip replacement. So there's that.
The post office is officially closed. Does that mean we're officially closed?
Oh no.
Oh,
Listen,
what?
if people keep ordering stuff, we're still going to ship stuff. It's just not guaranteed.
Gonna get there by Christmas.
I mean, it could, but there's a chance it won't. I'll still be shipping Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all week, every day. But
Oh,
yeah, it never ends. But the guarantee for Christmas
is over.
cutting it close.
It's over.
I
No more stocking stuffers hung by the chimney with care and all that.
Yeah.
It's over.
Hi, Scrap. But anybody who has ordered over this weekend, it's going to go out Monday. So, you know, there's still maybe a 50-50 chance.
All right, guys, welcome back to the shop. I got the old 64 outside warming up for Vicky. She's got to go run a couple errands and take some tables over to her mom's house tomorrow for cookie baking day. Yeah, they do this every year. So Vicky's inside working on baking cookies to take to cookie baking day. I'm not sure. It's a whole system that they've got.
You getting ready to go to Mom's?
Yes.
I got 2 tables loaded in the back of your truck, ready to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very much.
Are you leaving now?
Yep.
You're going just like that?
Yeah. Listen,
Oh my God.
cookie weekend.
You look ratchet.
I know. Listen, you stay in your jammy pants all weekend and you bake and the oven's hot and just, I'm a mess. But that's how I like it.
So there's that. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so where were we? Oh, okay, so we made nitrous pulls on the Malibu. The first pull was just towing in real easy in second gear for like 3 seconds. Took a plug reading, didn't look too bad, and it was just the easiest plug to pull out of the engine. We didn't pull all 8 of them out. I just wanted to get some idea where we were at with ignition timing, And based on number 1 cylinder on the very first pull, it looked okay. You know, maybe a little bit hot for only a 3-second pull in second gear. The more load you put to an engine and the longer you run it is going to give you a little bit better idea where you're at on timing and fuel. But I felt safe in doing what we did because, well, it's only on 150 shot, but even on 150 shot on this, you can tear something up pretty quick if you're not careful. Now, the reason I say that is because, you know, this engine is 13-to-1 compression and pumps 250 to 260 PSI on each cylinder on a compression tester without any trouble. So that's a lot of cylinder pressure. It runs really good on motor, and it doesn't take a whole lot of nitrous to really wake this thing up. But it also doesn't take a whole lot of nitrous to hurt it either. So with this much cylinder pressure, this much compression on, especially on winter blend E85 in the carburetor, and only 110 in the standalone, I'm not going to push any more to it right now until I probably get like 112, maybe 114 octane race gas for the standalone and some better summer blend E85, which I've got a drum saved in here, but I've only got 54 gallons for the entire winter, and I'm not sure, you know, how much racing I'm going to do this winter. I want to kind of sit on that stuff. But anyway, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull 2 more degrees of timing out for the 150 shot, the first stage. And then I need to really get someplace either on a dyno or on a decent track surface, someplace where I can load this thing and start making some pulls with fresh plugs and, you know, make a pass to 330 feet on both kits, pull a plug, and be gentle and be careful moving forward. The car makes a lot of power on nitrous, I'm telling you. You could see in that video, that high gear pull that I made, you can definitely tell the car makes a good bit of power. With Jeremy and I both in that car and a full tank of fuel, the Malibu was over 4,000 pounds when it made that high gear pull, and we started at about 3,000 RPM, 2,700 RPM, right in that area in high gear, and I just flat-footed it. And it did wiggle and move around just a little bit initially, and as the converter grabbed and started to pull the engine down, the car just hunkered down and went. But it accelerated extremely fast, especially for what it is. What do I think the car runs? I think on motor it would probably, I mean, this is just guessing. I think the car would probably run high 10s, 1060s, 1070s, pretty easy. There's a chance it may go a little faster than that because I really haven't had a good opportunity to make a long quarter-mile pull on it. I mean, that's not a good idea out on the road right now, especially with the road conditions. And on nitrous, it's an animal. I mean, it really runs good for what it is. So I'm pretty excited. Obviously this weekend we're not going anywhere. Today's Saturday now, and it's snowing outside pretty good. Next weekend's gonna be Christmas, and then the weekend after that we may be going someplace. I don't want to say where, I don't know for sure, but there's a real good chance the weekend after Christmas I may put this thing on a trailer and head south and get a little bit of racing done and maybe test it and make some pulls on it and see where we stand with a tune-up. So how fast do I think the car will go on nitrous? Judging by what I felt, the car should have no problem going low 10s, high 9s on 150. What will it do on, well, let's see, it'd be 350. I've got 200 in the second stage and 150 in the front, so that would be 350 if I turn both stages on. And that's, I don't know. You know, I don't think I'm going to be able to hit this thing with any nitrous in low gear with this transmission because, one, it's got a stock input shaft. I don't think that'll hold. The other thing is I'm not sure that the car is really set up well enough to go faster than 138 60 foot. I know that it can dip into the 130 60 foots without any trouble, and that's on motor. I guarantee you it will on motor. I don't really want to push that car any faster than what it goes on motor right now. I don't want to hurt the body. I don't want to cause any damage to the body. It doesn't have a roll cage in it. You know, it's stock frame. It has no X brace, no nothing in it. So I'm just going to probably for now run it on motor until the very top of first gear, or maybe after the gear change, and then start fading one kit in and then turn the second kit on once it gets in high gear. And it should go plenty fast enough for anything that I want to do with it. But we'll see. I'm pretty excited. I'm really happy with the engine. Huge shout out to Bob McVeigh, ATM, for the carburetor. I have not touched this carburetor. This carburetor is straight out of the box from ATM. It's a 750. It's not even built for this engine. It was built for my 355, but it works really good on this combination. And huge shout out to Nolan Jamora for the Iski hydraulic roller. This thing runs really good. I'm really, really happy. So stand by, guys. We're gonna probably head south here pretty soon. Not sure what we're gonna get into the rest of the weekend other than baking cookies, but we'll be back with you as soon as we can get something put together. All right. Thank you all. Hope everybody's having a good holiday season. Hope everybody's getting ready for Christmas. I know we are. Good night, everybody.